Hi everyone and welcome back to the Kotlin tutorial. In today's video we are diving into a very important, essential and powerful topic in the programming language. It is arrays. Either you came from other programming language or this is the first time that you are facing with arrays. In today's video I am going to cover what is same types of data into a variable, how we can store the same types of data into a variable, what is homogeneous, what is heterogeneous, how we can access our elements from an array, how we can modify. We would have different real life examples to make you understand properly about arrays, and to master your arrays I'm here to help you. So let's start it. As I said, arrays are a collection of elements of same data type. How we can store the same types of data into a variable and to use them, and for memory efficiency how we can have the same types of data into one variable and we can use them in different purposes, and all of them will be in the contiguous memory location to access them easily. So generally arrays are the same types of data, but you can have the different types of data. That is what I am saying about homogeneous data and heterogeneous data. The homogeneous data are the same types of data that generally arrays are the homogeneous data. They are same data type into a variable and they would be in this contiguous memory location. And heterogeneous, they are the different types of data into a variable into an array. We can create both types of arrays, either homogeneous or heterogeneous. So arrays are generally the homogeneous types of data, but we can have the heterogeneous of that also. And arrays are mutable in Kotlin, so they are changeable. We can resize them, we can add or modify elements into our arrays. In here you can see how we can declare an array by using array of function. After declaring your variable val numbers equal to arrays of, your elements will be in the parameter of array of function. So you can have the same types of data which are integers in here, the bunch of numbers. So you can print them later on by using println function, and numbers dot content to a string, it will convert it to a string. And if you don't use this function, or if you don't call this function, you would have a not readable string and it will be difficult for you to understand that. So you would have a nice representation of your data by using content to a string. This will convert your arrays into a string and it will represent for you in the console. So let's see how we can access our elements inside of array. As you can see in here, by using index or by using get method, you can, by both methods you can access your elements. In here, after initializing your array by these elements, by 4 elements, they are all integers and same type. So by println function and by using the index of your array, you can print them or you can access the element of your array. In here I have printed or accessed the second element, and the index of arrays are started from 0. So arrays are indexed from 0 and the first element into our array would be from 0 index and second will be from 1. This will be the second element and the first index. So 20 is stored in the second element of our array. In here, by using get method also, you can easily have an interface to access your array elements. In here, after initializing, you can see by calling this get method and passing the index of your array, you can access the value of that index. So This is an interface to access your array elements. So in here you can see by two ways you can modify the elements into your array. So by using index again, and in here you can use from set method to have an interface. As you can see in here, after initializing your array by the initial elements, later on you can modify them by using its index and the new value, the first index and 99. After printing you can see the changes in the output 1, 99 and 3. By using the set method you can also do that after initializing your or creating your array. You can later on by using set method and its parameters. The first parameter will be the index of your array, the index 0 in here, and 50 will be the new value that I have modified in here, that I have passed into its parameter. And after that, by using println function, you can print them and you can see the changes in the output. By loops also you can traverse or you can access the elements of your array. You can see in here the first example by using for loop I have accessed. After initializing I have used from for loop, and the first I will declare my variable element will be my variable, and by using an operator and I will traverse into this collection which is array in here by ARR the name of my array, and by println function I will print them each time, and you can see the output 10, 20 and 30 in here. As I said earlier, by using for each loop you can traverse or you can access the elements from your collection. In here array is a collection that I can access all elements of this array. In here by using or calling for each loop function and printing all of them by using it keyword, it will print all of these values from our array, and you can see the output ABC. By using for each index, I have already talked about this also. We can do that after initializing my array with the and specifying the values 5, 10 and 15. By calling this for each index you can traverse and print all of the values with their index. You can see the first variable as index that I have declared in here, and the second is value, and each and every time I will print, and by traversing into my array until there are elements inside of my array, it will print them one by one by their index by using for each index function. So in the demo section I will clear you everything about homogeneous types of data, how we can have the heterogeneous example of or creating the heterogeneous types of array. In the demo section I will go through all of them in detail and with different examples by problems that I will solve. You can understand them properly. See you guys in the demo section. Now in practical demonstration of arrays, I have already created a new project, arrays demo. You can also do that by going file, under new, click on project, name your project, click on create, then you can start your coding. So in here I will solve some problems related to arrays, and we have already discussed about homogeneous, heterogeneous types of data in arrays in the theory section of our video. So in here we are going to solve some problems to make you understand properly and to get the concept at all. So the first problem related to the scores of students. In here you can see you have a list of students, all will be integers. So the type will be homogeneous because all of them will be from same type, it is integers. So you can see in here I have commented also to not get confused. So all of them is homogeneous and same types. as you can see, I have declared my array variable scores, and by array of function I have passed in its parameter the values of my array. I would have 5 elements inside of my array, and it will be stored inside scores. So at the first time I have printed all of my elements by println function, and by template I have printed all of them by calling scores.content to a string. What it will do is this function will return my elements, all of them in a string, to nicely represent in the string format. Otherwise it will be a not readable hexadecimal strings, so you cannot read that properly. This function will do that. And in the next line I have updated or modify a new value for my scores by using its index. In index 2 I have reassigned the element by 80, otherwise it was 76. So after that again I have printed my elements by using println function, and by printing the updated scores the same way. So in the next line also I have printed using its index. To make you understand, we can also do that by individually. We can print by using index, and only that targeted element we can print them also. So let's run our program and see the result. As you can see, is the first println that I have printed. Let me minimize a little bit. Okay, the first println, it has printed in the console all of my elements inside of the console, student scores, all of them in the inside array, and nicely it is represented by this function in a string format. And after updating, you can see also I have printed in the next line. You can also check in here. Updated scores are 85, 92 and 80 that I have updated. You can check in here. And in the next println also I have printed by using index, by using the index 0. I have printed index 0 in here. The first score is 85, which is stored in the index 0. So it was all about the first problem. By using homogeneous types of data, I have printed all the numbers inside of my scores variable. It is array type, and by array of function I have printed all. Let me print with for each loop also in here. We can also do that by using for each loop. Simply I can declare a for each loop in here, and by using a variable score and an operator. So after that, scores array, type is array, start the brackets. Let me minimize this. Okay, and in here I can print all elements of my array by printing a score one by one. It will print by adding a new line for me. Can also check in console. As you can see at the end of my prints, I have printed by using for loop also separately in the each lines from first to end. You can also check that I have printed with for each loop. What this for each loop is doing, it will directly target my values instead of indices. It was all about first problem. I have printed differently with different types of prints, okay, by accessing differently. Let's jump to the next problem. Let's comment this. As you can see in here, in the next problem, I have created a new array for heterogeneous types of data. In here, first I have declared my array. Then, by using array class and any class. The type of this array for specifying the types of our array, our data that we will create by using array type, we can declare its types in here. I have used from any type. Any is a class in Kotlin. We can declare different types of data by using any. What any is doing, it will be from generic type, and it will get any type that we will specify, and array is also from generic type. What generic type is doing, it will return at the end or at the runtime what we will create, what we will declare our variable. It will be from any type. It will return that type for us. So in here I have specified the different types of data from a string to integer and boolean in here. According to our problem, the problem is you want to store mixed type details of a student from name to age and GPA and enrollment status. So it will be heterogeneous and different types. As you can see in here, I have used from for each loop to print all of them to access directly the values, and I have printed by using println function, and I have printed the tail variable that I have initialized in here each time, and by using this value and this double colon operator, I have called the class reference, and then I call the simple name function to return the name of each data type for us. So we will learn about each and everything in the next videos about classes, objects, and differently calling. This is the callable operator, as you can see in here, double colon. The name of this double colon is callable operator to use and call different classes and functions. So let's run our program and see how would be the heterogeneous types of data and creating arrays from different types of values. As you can see in the console, I have printed all of these values. Alias is the type string by getting their type. 21 is the int type, integer type, and 3.8 is double type, true is boolean. You can see all of them in the console. I have printed all of them one by one. This was about second problem. Let's jump to the next problem. The next problem is list of students using a string data type. All of them will be in a string type. As you can see in here, I have declared my variable, and by array of function, I have initialized this variable to create an array of a string type. All of them the name of students. So by println function, and in here I have used from different function join to a string. It will work the same with content to a string, but in here in its parameter, it will get an string as a parameter to specify the separator for our elements. Any separators that you will specify in here, it will separate our strings by that, our elements by that. So it is also used to convert the not readable hexadecimal code to a string and nicely represent all of them to us. So join to is also doing that, and by using a separator to give us the option to specify the separator. Let's run our program and see what will happen. As you can see in here, all of them by specifying the separator, and it is represented in the console in the string format. You can see all of them. Okay, this was about second problem. Let's comment this. Third problem, sorry. The fourth problem is looping through an array. So in here I have again the marks or scores of a student or anyone. In here I have declared the score variable, and by area of function I have specified all of these numbers from integer type to the parameter of array of function to create our array, and it will be stored inside of this scores by two for loop. One, the traditional for loop for using indices to print all of our variables according to the positions or indices that they are in our memory. We are accessing their indices to print its value. And the second type is by using for each loop, and we will directly access the variables itself, the values itself. What this for loop is doing, it will use from in behind, it will use from iterators to iterate into our values or elements of our array that we are in here. By n operator we are accessing all these scores, so it will iterate through our elements and access them directly by using iterators in behind. So let's run our program and see what will happen. As you can see in here, I have printed by both ways. The first one is by accessing their indices to print them, and by second also I have print them by directly accessing them. So it was all about arrays in Kotlin. So in the next videos we will discuss about dimensions of arrays, and we will solve different problems as well with array to make you understand properly the concept of arrays, because it is a crucial topic in programming language and especially in here in Kotlin. So until next videos, thank you so much. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. See you guys.